Our last tip for 2025 is about corporate jargon or office speak. It's a language that all of us have encountered and many of us have used. Uh, and essentially, what it means is words that we only use at work. The reason that we have some words, phrases, vocabulary, sentence structure that we only use in our corporate environments is because, well, there are multiple reasons, but a few of them are that people who work together often develop a shorthand, so a quick, easy way to talk about common things, whether they're common because they happen frequently or they're common because everybody studied the same background. So that's something like SOP as an abbreviation. A lot of people that I work with understand that SOP means standard operating procedure. And so you can say SOP and everybody knows what you mean. We have many of those kinds of terms that are understood and allow us to communicate more efficiently with each other in our work environments. Another reason for corporate speak is because we're all coming to work from a variety of cultural backgrounds. So whether that's we're coming from different parts of the US or we're coming from places all over the world to work together, we have grown up in different places. We learn to speak different languages. So maybe it's all English, but we have sort of different versions of English that we use, whether you say crayon as two syllables or crayon as I do growing up in Wisconsin as one syllable. So we have these slightly different ways of talking or using terms, vocabulary, depending on where we come from. Corporate speak is a way of creating a common language that everyone in that workplace has access to at the same time. And that's another reason that we have these words or phrases that we only use at work. And one more reason for corporate speak, office jargon, is that our workplace experience is supposed to be emotionally neutral. And what that means is that we tend to tamp down our emotions to try to express things in a neutral or positive way, since what we're doing is working together and we want to maintain relationships, keep clients, right? Continue to be able to work with people who are at other businesses or our vendors, our partners, our clients. We're all trying to work in this ecosystem of business. And we do that more effectively if our language is emotionally neutral, which means sometimes hiding some of our disappointment or frustration with each other. What happens then is that the corporate speak, that language that we've invented to communicate in this space, can start to sound a little bit passive aggressive. So we say things like, per my last email, when what we really want to say is, did you not read what I said? And of course, I'm not recommending that you start asking people aggressively, did you not read what I sent already? No, don't do that. But per my last email is just a thinly veneered way of saying the exact same thing. Did you not read what I sent? And so what I want us to do is really consider when the language that we use at work is working and when it's not. And so when is it working? It's working if that's the best way to express an idea so that everybody knows what you mean. So like standard operating procedure becomes SOP. If I am certain that every single person that I am communicating with understands what SOP means, then that is a shorter, more efficient way, and it doesn't have any emotional baggage. It's not metaphoric. It doesn't require somebody to have some kind of cultural knowledge in order to understand what we're saying. On the other hand, a phrase like, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. Okay, so I didn't mean to blame you or reveal something that you did. I didn't mean to make it clear that this was your idea. I didn't mean to uncover what you had been trying to communicate. Throw you under the bus is a metaphor. It's very imagistic, right? And you have to have some kind of cultural understanding of what that means. Like, you have to know about buses. You have to know that stepping in front of them is dangerous. You have to have a sense of like traffic laws. And those aren't necessarily things that would translate cross-culturally or that make sense in every environment. So I want us to consider whether the words and phrases that we use in our corporate speak are actually going to be understood by everyone, and if they are the plainest way to communicate effectively with other people. So the plain language is usually going to be the best because it's easy for anyone from any cultural background to understand. Next time you hear corporate jargon, or maybe you use corporate jargon, ask yourself whether it is serving a purpose in that environment. Is it useful in terms of efficiency? Is it useful in terms of cross-cultural communication? Does everyone understand what is being said? And is it being used in order to pretend that you're emotionally neutral when you actually are not? Because in that case, I'm going to advocate that you use some of the other techniques, framing it as a positive, asking a genuine question, showing curiosity about other people. There are ways that we can be emotionally mature at work that do not require us to say passive-aggressive things like, per my last email. You can just ask, did you have a chance to read this yet? And the other person can say, I did, and I had these questions, or I didn't, give me a second, let me look it over and I'll get back to you. And we can have actual conversations without using corporate speak, which may obscure how we really feel. I hope this is useful to you to consider as we reach the end of the year, and we'll be back in 2026 with 12 more tips.